Hey everyone, this is a video that I honestly never really wanted to have to make. For the last 3 to 4 years, we pretty much have gone non-stop, and I feel that's because one of the things that I pride myself on is my work ethic and my ability to maintain my schedule. Work and my schedule have always really come first in my life, and I know that's not healthy at times, but it always has. But due to the events that have happened in my life over the last 6 months, and don't worry, they're not bad, but it's mentally beaten me down to the point where I just have no creativity left, and I'm gonna take about 2 weeks to go just rejuvenate everything and just be able to come back strong and enjoy this job again. Trust me, I love this job, but we've hit a point where I just need a breather. But don't worry, the too long didn't read version of what I'm about to explain is that we are going to be doing every other day videos for Comicstorian and Mangastorian for the next 2 weeks. And it's not because we're going to keep working, it's because we normally have about 5 videos in advance already done. So we're just going to take those videos and spread them out to every other day. So for the next 2 weeks, you're going to get about an every other day video here at Comicstorian and Mangastorian. That's our sister channel where we do manga and anime. And that's pretty much it. After the end of the 2 weeks, we're coming back strong. We're going to be doing our daily videos again. But I wanted you to be aware that you may have a hiccup, like we probably won't get World War Hulk out one of the 2 weeks. I think the Flash and Deadpool rotation is going to get hiccuped. It's going to be like paused for a week. So just things like that. So the too long didn't read version is for the next 2 weeks, every other day video. And that's pretty much it. If you don't want to stick around and hear my rambling as to what has happened over the last 6 months, that is perfectly fine. I appreciate you just even watching this part of the video. Thank you if you're one of the 1.4 million subscribers we have here at Comicstorian, and I hope you enjoy the content that we bring out while we take our break, and I will be back strong in September. And that's it. So now I'm going to ramble as to what's been happening with the whole entire everything, my entire life. So let me give you a quick rundown of this YouTube business that I've created. So we have Eligible Monster, our gaming channel. We have Comicstorian, our obviously comic book channel. We have Mangastorian, that's where we cover manga and anime. All of them are going very strong. Eligible Monster just relaunched, so we're trying to figure out the traction for that one. But overall, we're happy with the initial reaction to the relaunch of it. And a lot of these things we were changing around over the last 6 months. Now, on top of that, you guys haven't known about it, but I moved from the condo to here. I've mentioned a few times our new studio, and that's what this is. We moved from the condo to this location, and we basically dealt with an entire 3-month mortgage process, buying a house, dealing with all of the people that had to be dealt with for that. And on top of all of that, I decided that I wanted to take our unfinished basement and finish it into the studio that I am now standing in. And once we are completely done with everything, you will get a house tour. Don't worry. I know every YouTuber has to do it, and I'm sure some of you are interested as to what we did. So I've been managing 3 channels, trying to maintain the daily schedules on most of them. Eligible Monster, even though we only relaunched it at the beginning of July, we were working on concepts and stuff all the way back in May, trying to decide what we were going to do with the relaunch, making sure things lined up. Now, on top of everything, of me going through the move, the house, the basement, and everything like that, Rob moved out here, and I was trying to help him deal with that. And on top of that, I was also given an offer to write a comic book backup. I'm not going to officially announce it right now because it's not like we're like 90% certain it's coming out, and it will be out in September. And I would like to make just a direct video promoting the book that I actually got to write in. But it is with Valiant Entertainment. They're a great company. I love most of their books. I've always been honest about what I liked and didn't like over there. And they gave me an offer to write some good stuff. And I'm hoping you guys enjoy it, and I'm hoping it gets printed. But that has happened on top of everything. On top of all of that, I've also launched an eBay store business on the side with a couple of friends of mine. Basically, all of the collectibles and stuff we use for the sets started just taking up a ton of space, and we have like over 500 Funko Pops. We have various statues that you can't find anywhere. And I was like, why don't we just try looking into getting into that whole eBay business? So we've been looking for ways to build stock, to actually employ people, to ship things out, make sure the shipping is proper, building up our rating in eBay. That's also been going on top of running 3 channels and writing the comic and dealing with extra stuff. And on top of all of that, we got a whole bunch of offers, which is one thing that I've been looking for, to build a local kind of business for photography and videography. So we now do local things. We take various additional outside freelance jobs on top of everything. That's why you never saw me complain much about the ad apocalypse, because we have so much business as a company that we're doing fine. Yes, of course, we have our low periods where YouTube doesn't do nearly as hot, but I've been trying to supplement that with other additional businesses that the company can do as a whole. And that is what we've been doing. So for the last, I'd say it was like February, when I made that video, said we're going to make a whole bunch of changes, we're going to be doing a lot of more creative stuff. The last 6 months have just been insane. And we finally just sold another property that we had the other day that I picked up before any of this YouTube stuff happened. And it just took a huge weight off of my shoulders. But today was the best time to, like, when I finally felt it. I've never, ever disliked this job. Video games, comic books, anime, manga, I love that stuff, guys. Like, this is my life. It really has become that. When I was in the military, you know, I had more, I guess you would say, adult-themed kind of life. But as we've done more and more with this, and I found ways to integrate it into my life, we have. I joke that I'm a professional man-child because I can be, you know, an adult and I can have my fun. But our house is covered in, like, skateboards and Street Fighter art, and like we have a giant bat claw in the other room, and we have giant statues of the Hulk and Wolverine. I mean, things that when I was a kid I never thought we would achieve. And it's not entirely from YouTube, but it all at least stemmed out of YouTube, and it's all because of you guys, so I thank you for all of that. But I have taken that and moved the businesses elsewhere because, I mean, it's YouTube, guys. I mean, as much as I would love to do this for 10-20 years, I don't know. I always assume that YouTube's going to be over in a year. So I plan accordingly for 1 year of YouTube working. And then when the new year begins, I plan it out again. I plan for 1 more year of YouTube working. And don't worry, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing YouTube. I just feel like I'm being conservative to ensure that I will always make smart decisions and don't run out and buy like $1 million house or something and be like, YouTube's going for 30 years. I got this. No, none of that stuff. Anyway. So with all of that happening over the last 6 months, and on top of that, Rob and I deciding to make the R&B podcast and start working on stuff together, and keeping a focus on our Discord. We have a Discord where you can come and chat with us and things like that, and just building out the community aspects, building out the podcast, building out the photography business, building out the eBay business, building out the Eligible Monster channel, maintaining the Comicstorian channel. Maintaining the Mangastorian channel, maintaining everything. Once we finally sold that property, I came down today and I looked at the job, and I had to write today I was going to make up a video of the worst things that Reverse Flash has done, because I saw somebody made a list about that. I don't even know when, but I found a list like that on the website, and I was like, this doesn't even have everything. Reverse Flash is so much worse than this. You don't even have everything. So my next video was going to be Reverse Flash. And everyone asks who my favorite superheroes are, but you never ask who my favorite villains are. My favorite villains are the Joker and Reverse Flash. So typically I would have sat down here and I would have been so happy to be writing up a Reverse Flash list that I was going to have fun with and do research on. And I just looked at it and my brain is fried. Like, I've hit the end of my rope. Everyone's like, you're going to burn out. And you're right. I finally did burn out. But it wasn't from the YouTube. It's because I took on so much extra work and projects that I finally just creatively burned out. I had nothing left to put in to Comicstorian at this moment. So I looked at the schedule, and I've already planned on going to like a family reunion at this week. We're going over to a beach in North Carolina, and I was already going to bring this microphone with me. I was going to pack it back in the backpack like I did when I was doing all my traveling last year. I was going to put it in there. I was going to travel to North Carolina, and I was going to keep working. And after looking at that script this morning and realizing that I wasn't even enjoying writing anything about the Reverse Flash, I was like, I'm going to take a break. We're going to take the videos that we already have locked and loaded on the channels, and we're going to spread those out every other day. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow not only me, who's been working nonstop for 3-4 years now, to take a break, but it's going to allow my team to take a break. Because what you guys, like, everyone likes to look at YouTube. You're like, oh, man, your life must be great. You must read comics all day and play video games and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm not even going to deny I could. We could. I could sit here and do that. But there would be no future for me. If I sat here and read comic books all day and just made a video about a comic book, we would be fine as a channel. But when YouTube ended, what would I do with my life after that? There would be no Benny after Comicstorian. There would be no Eligible Monsters after Comicstorian. There would be Benny, the former YouTube star. So, I mean, I like to say I'm a YouTube star. I'm over 1 million subs. But that's what it would be. It would just be me, the former YouTube star. Here's his after years. What did he save any money? Did he do anything? So ever since this is all taken off, I've looked for other avenues and launched other businesses that have funded a lot of the stuff that I'm doing so that I'm stable. And that's what I've been doing with it. But what that has led to is 7 days a week working 10 hours. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day and I come down here into this office, or I would go into the living room in the condo when we lived there, and I would spend 3 to 4 hours writing up scripts. I would then record for 2 to 3 hours, depending on what the scripts were and how energetic I had to be. Because that would be, do I drink a lot of coffee or do I drink a little bit of coffee? I would do that. Then I would take phone calls and meetings for everything from Comicstorian to Mangastorian to possibly launching Eligible Monster, which now has been relaunched, to even additional gigs like productions that we've done as a company, hosting arrangements that I have made where I go fly off and do things, to even we've also just straight up edited other people's videos, but I'm taking tons and tons of work and I take those meetings all afternoon. And then on top of that, like all the additional businesses then come in after that. So like the eBay business, I would then meet with the guy who's running it for me right now, and we discuss the plan for that. And the photography thing, I would then, after end of all of that, sit down. Okay, this is the equipment we need. Here's how the business is going to function. Here's the camera gear. Okay, what is outside of my realm of skills? Where do I need to start hiring people? And that kind of a thing. Because if you're a smart business owner, you're always looking for the next step, where you're going to be as a business. No business is a 40-year plan. And if it does become one, well, then you should be good, because you'll have all these businesses that are now launched. But I've never gotten a real break in 3 to 4 years. And when I sat down this morning and I looked at everything, I was like, and you know what? Neither has my writer, Sean. So Sean, so the writing duties of Eligible Monster Productions are actually split between 3 of us. Me and Sean are the primary writers. What I do is I read through a comic, and if I really, really enjoyed it, and when I'm reading it, like let's say this Cave Carson issue right here, if I had images for how I wanted it to be written, then I would go ahead and write the script. Now, if it didn't like stand out to me, like, oh, this is a really good scene that I want to do this with, or this is a really good sequence that I want this to happen with, I would then pass it over to Sean. I'd be like, Sean, I enjoyed this story, read it, and then you write it. And that's how we maintained the daily videos. And I was able to still keep up my own skills as a writer and keep up what I'm doing. And then we also have my brother, who actually comes in and he'll write additional things that he enjoyed that maybe I enjoyed, but I wasn't really 100% following. Unworthy Thor is a great example. Unworthy Thor was 5 issues. I think I dropped off at 3. Not that I didn't intend on finishing it or I didn't enjoy it. I really did. Just I got busy. So when it ended, I'm like, hey, I really loved how that story started. Can you write it up? I'm going to read the rest of the issues on the way back home. I was on a plane. I'll record the audio when I get there, so it's waiting for me. And that kind of a thing. And so, but I realized Sean has also, in the last year and a half, since, well, actually almost 2 years now, that I've hired him and brought him on board, he's never gotten a break. The dude writes 8 to like 12 scripts a week, non-stop, and he's never gotten a break. So I was like, you know what? Let's just pace it out, because typically when I take a breather, the editors are still going, or Sean is still writing. And if they're getting a break, then I'm covering down. And we've never just taken a break. We've never just stepped back and let everybody recharge. And that's what I want to do. I want to let everyone recharge. I told you this video was going to be a bit rambly once I got to the actually what's been going on, but that's what's been going on. Long story shortened back down, 3 channels that I'm running. We closed on a house. We sold the property. We launched 2 other businesses. We've been maintaining freelance work, and I've written a comic book. It's a lot. It's taking its toll on me. So that's it. We're going to take a 2-week break. We're going to go, every video's going to come out every other day, and we'll try to maintain the schedules. I don't know if it's going to be happening, but when we come back, they'll all be back strong. And that's that. So thank you guys for helping us get this far. And we are going to enjoy a little bit of a breather, and I will see you when we all get back. Oh, and don't forget, if you have plenty of old episodes to go watch here on Comicstorian, but if you feel you've watched them all, check out Mangastorian. We do anime and manga there. We like to pick up where a lot of the mangas are into like what would be a season 2 on our gaming channel. We do a lot of like office humor, and we do a lot of versus stuff and a lot of on-camera stuff. And I also have a vlog channel that I link down below, and that's just whatever, I guess a lot of YouTubers call it their shit posting. That's pretty much what I'm putting over there. But just stuff you can just follow if you really feel like it. And outside of that, guys, I'll see you next time right here at Comicstorian.